Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. My name's Jean. We would like to speak to you today of the changing dynamics that are very real indeed, tied to the frequency that has been piercing the planet and indeed your bodies as well. And we are seeing a strengthening of this signal moving across the planet in very enlightened and in some cases piercing way. But this is the passage that has long been discussed as far as your species and your humanity reclaiming and coming back online in ways that you are probably not even accustomed to. But rest assured, there is an inversion of the inversion that you have been undergoing for some time now. This is the writing of inverted energy that has been so strong in your matrix, yes, and also in your personal experience and going back many generations of lineages. So hear this. This is changing, this is shifting. This is coming online in ways that may not even be consciously understandable to you. But please take faith and understand that there is a biological, electrical, magnetic, and plasmic shift that is occurring, regardless of your complete understanding. That will follow as you move through this. There will be more paradigms and constructs dropping in that you will be shown, you will be attracted to different information systems that will give you the piece, the code of information that you've been personally experiencing. You see, this is what happens when you are lighting up as fifth dimensional, multi-dimensional beings. Your hologram talks to you. The path is for you to simply see and process and acknowledge the signs that have always been available, but are becoming more distinct and direct in your field. We want you to have fun with this. It will bring a deeper understanding that you are indeed not alone on this journey, that there are many vibrational energies, beings, and other people accompanying you, even the plants and the animals that populate your world. You are by no means separate from that of which we speak about. So please take heart and please understand that not all full cognitive capacity is dropped in all at once, although it may be. But see this as a bit of a fortune hunt, that you will find information packets that are aligning with your own journey that then brings the understanding in an aha manner and even in an epiphany sort of way. So we are very pleased and we are excited for this journey that has been opening and opening and opening more, but it is strengthening and it is finding more ground. And you are part of the ground. This is not meant to be an experience where you are leaving your ground or leaving your body, rather, where you are encoding the codes and implanting the energy so that you can actually function in this dimensional space in a very operational way. Some things that we see you may be drawn to is eating some heavier food. We are also seeing more subconscious patterns tied to nature and animals and the inclusion and the flow that is tied in with this. This has been truncated through some of the programs that have been enacted upon you. But I know many of you, as we speak these words, are feeling a deepening sense of inclusion and sensitivity, even around all of the living beings around you. And this will grow. And if there is any heartache or sadness surrounded with this, let that come, but then also let it clear, as you know that you are tuning your lens in a very different way in how you are in relationship to all other sentient and living beings around you. This is called signal coherence. There has been much disruption impeded upon your signal by those who would wish you to remain in a lowered state of unconsciousness. But hear us now. This cannot hold, and it is indeed not holding. Many of you, more and more, are coming online to receive this signal. Now you are deepening this process of actually embedding it, deriving meaning from it, and then creating behavioral, physical, and vibrational changes within your own center point of the hologram in which you live in. Mind you, we are talking about organic holograms, not manufactured holograms. We are talking about the rising up of this frequency and this energy field that is yours to claim, yours to embed in, and yours to own. It is so, and it will continue at a rate that is not meant to overwhelm, at a pace that is not meant to overwhelm, but rather as an ongoing flow of insights, awakenings, and deepening understanding. So, this is quite an exciting time, but not in the way that is all about fanfare or presentation or artifice. This is in the way of the fanfare and the eureka moments that you're feeling as you're seeing different energy signals within you align. And when that happens, it forms a very stable geometric process within your system. You see, everything is geometry within your body, within your planet, within the solar system, within the galaxies themselves. And why so many are feeling so drawn to these teachings and these understandings as well. Astrology is also part of the geometry, but we would like to even entreat you into saying that some of you have been held captive by how you perceive some of your geometry or incarnation mapping charts. These are not meant to be cages or containers for you. Rather, they shift and change and flow differently because of the different frequency and understanding that is acted upon them, you see. So we want you to notice any way that is apparent in your life now where you feel a density or a heaviness around some of these paradigms that you've embraced in your life that are indeed now in a state of changing. There's opening and more opening and more opening. Think of it as a river that is widening and it is turning to the right. And by the right, we mean this is masculine energy of electronic connection. It is where it is being emanating out from you, much as this channel is doing today, to connect with these other vibrations and energy sources that are in their own state of coherence and their own state of signal strengthening. So watch for that. And we know that many of you have already been connecting with that. And it will continue to grow, though. This is the river widening, the intuitive force that is expanding its perception, that then docks in quite an electrical way that you can manage and enact upon and take action upon that will serve you well. This is an integration of this energy in which we speak of. Your only job is to find time every day to bathe yourself in frequencies and energy systems that expand and ground. When you are in an energy system that contracts and you feel the need to leave your body, that is something to be well aware of indeed. Because you are here, many of you, ancient beings. We have builder race beings, we have hybrid beings, we have organic beings. But many of you are here to embed this geometry in a holistic way that is apparent in the day-to-day living, in the day-to-day experience, and in the day-to-day expression. And we are grateful for this transmission today. Be love, be caring, enjoy yourself, be the steward of yourself in more enlightened, most loving capacities than perhaps you've ever connected or entrained with before. And so it is. Be well. Okay. This is very strong. So This is tying in, and I am working with the sidereal today. This is tying in very much with the geometry that we are seeing that is landing, that has landed, has been building and arcing on and off through the past few years. But I'll take you back to the original Uranus Pluto square that started perfecting back in 2012 and took us actually through 2015. In the sidereal chart, this was in mutable signs. So this would have been Pluto in Sagittarius and Uranus in Pisces squaring. So, what we were seeing from 2012 on was a deepening inversion of the life force and of the energy. And if you think back about that, 2012 and the solstice and the galactic core that was perfectly aligned with our planetary system, that is when another school shooting occurred. And I knew that there would be more of them and it would be more frequent, that they would be activating more inversion programming in our field because we are on such a strong path of awakening. And I bring that up because just last week, and the build up to the 9/11 event, they were really programming things in. We had a stabbing, we had another school shooting, and then we had an assassination energy. So I'm saying this because I want you to understand what you're seeing. You are seeing a doubling down, what has been a doubling down, especially, yes, 9/11, but since 2012, a deepening doubling down because of the consciousness that is and will continue to arrive on this planet. So when you can understand what you're seeing, and understand the programming that is encoded with divisive language and us against them, all of that, which is so predictable, that you are watching these old energies at work doing only what they know how to do. They can't do anything close to what we know how to do. We are creator beings. And so what is occurring now is that Uranus and Pluto are trining. So they are now trine as I'm speaking. And this will continue well through, when does that trine take us through? Okay. Yeah, strongly through 2028. This perfected back in August of this year, but it is very, very strong through October 2028. So, what is this? This is new practical forms. And because Pluto is in Capricorn, Pluto is changing the systemic restructuring of authority and governments and frameworks and also money. So this is happening regardless of any interference energy. And we are a part of this movement. We are a part and here for this geometry that is acting upon us in our own personal biomatrix as well as the collective field. And, then Uranus is all about the peak of this trine, 2024 through 2028, is 2026 and 2027. And Uranus is all about, the freedom of these rigid systems and breaking free. This is a pragmatic revolution, is what I'm being, very pragmatic revolution here that has ground and has land. And we are playing a role in this. This is about the Uranus and Taurus is about agriculture and nature, and rigidity gets freed. And this is going to tie into our food systems and our farming systems. And why I believe they're bringing in, this came in a couple of weeks ago, a subconscious rising about the natural relationship to nature itself and to all of the animals on this planet. I was getting a download that this is a very tricky planet for many of the animals to come to because of the unconsciousness of the human relationship to them and with them. But that is what is coming up in many fields as well, because we have to include all of these qualities within us, because this is about unity consciousness and the understanding that everything is us and we are everything else around us. And so our relationship to everything else around us, of course, naturally has to change. So it's an amazing time. This is what the Uranus Pluto square did was crack things open. And the last exact square was back in 2015. So think back to 2012 to 2015. and we saw real cracking open and disturbance in the field. So this is absolutely, an activation period. And with a solar eclipse that is coming up on Sunday, the 21st, in the sidereal, it's at 4 degrees of Virgo. In the tropical, it's at 29 degrees of Virgo, the anaretic degree, which is a very fated theme of push and development and karma, even around all of these natural systems. So in the tropical timeline, the seasonal based timeline, in the sidereal, this is an ongoing energy and activation for the next several years. And this eclipse is exact at 3:54 p.m. on Sunday, the 21st. And it is in trine with Pluto in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. It is opposing that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. The last exact conjunction of these two will be in February 2026. And then they start to move away from that orb of exactitude once we get past March of 2026. And March always seems to be the month where we are still cleaning up. Remember, we're in a number 9 year. And so there's been a lot of releasing, a lot of loss, a lot of letting go. But what is already being infused is the number 1 year that is already beginning to entrain and to, fill us with different inspiration and new chapters and new potentials. And in Virgo, we are looking at, very specific functional things, cutting out the artifice, getting real, getting practical, your products, your services. The 6th house of Virgo is also your body, that which encases your spirit. We are soul embodied humans. And so the human body is also calling out for more attention and more stabilizing and integration here as well. It's not unusual with all of the strong energy on planet to invoke us to want to eat some heavier foods to ground. But additionally, remember that we are electrical systems. Our chakra systems are all batteries rotating and acting. And our body needs electrical charge by movement, through movement, whether that's just 20 minutes a day, dancing in your living room, going for a walk, working out in some fashion. And it changes your brain chemicals. And it also helps with the brainwave patterns so that you can also handle this energy more easily. These are very simple, pragmatic things that are being brought forth at this solar eclipse, but it's already heating up. Eclipses don't happen in a vacuum, and they can have year windows even, but this will strongly be an infusing kind of energy that will be taking us into the next 6 to even 12 months ahead. And then this eclipse is also sextiling Jupiter. So this is adding also the higher consciousness, the spiritual, and understanding your higher self, your team, your guides, in a nice relationship if you reach out for it. Sextiles are not about this is going to happen. It's like this is here for you if you make yourself available for it. And that's always through the quiet times. Sitting outside, nature is the most consciousness energy. It carries the strongest light on this planet. So that can be a meditation right there. So very, very positive here. And this is not going away. This is the composting of old beliefs that many have carried around with them through the ancestral programming. And this will continue to be a clearing passage around that. This is material change. It's like we're building with strange new bricks that we're not fully familiar with, but still the construction is taking place. And, more insights into how this is experienced, the lived experience for you, will drop in as through things that you're attracted to, through things that you listen to, and you'll find that was exactly the piece that helps you to understand what you have been experiencing. And That's why I created also the Remembering Portal a couple months ago. It's just infusing you and in training you with all of these energies and frequencies to help you remember your multidimensional self, your divine self. That's the intention of this. I'm very reticent to give it too much definition because it's not supposed to have a lot of definition in that way, because we are dealing with energy and frequency fields, and every human's individual experience is quite specific for them. But we are indeed moving through a beautiful time of more integration and in a grounded way that is serviceable and accessible. And then, of course, we have the autumn equinox the following day. What is that? Autumn equinox is on Monday, the 22nd. And in the tropical, that is when the sun heads into Libra. But the equinoxes, and it can be a day off because time isn't consistent the way the tropical explains it. And this is not a either or, good or bad. It's a yes and. That is when the ley lines and the nodal activations in the grid system, the electric grid, the plasmic grid in the planet, on the planet, around the planet, get charged as well. And the autumn equinox is always about the bringing in of the harvest of the seeds that were planted back at the spring equinox. So we have a lot of energy being activated as we're heading into the weeks ahead. Take good care.